गुड इवनिंग एवरीवन। आज जो सीरीज मैं स्टार्ट करने वाली हूँ, दिस इज ऑल अबाउट योर रेपर्टरी, नॉट ओनली फॉर द BHMS स्टूडेंट बट ऑल्सो फॉर द स्टूडेंट हु आर प्रिपेयरिंग फॉर देयर upcoming exam for PSC, UPSC और any type of AIPGT exams। ठीक है। सो ये बीच नॉट ओनली फॉर द BHMS या जिसको इंटरेस्ट भी है रेपर्टरी में, ये सभी के लिए वो कोर्स है एंड इट विल बी ए डिटेल कोर्स है। ठीक है। सो जो BHMS स्टूडेंट है, अगर उनको एग्जाम है तो दैट इज दिस कोर्स और दिस सीरीज विल बी हेल्पफुल फॉर देम। सो आई एम स्टार्टिंग द फर्स्ट विद द रेपर्टरी वन। ओके। सो क्या क्या क्वेश्चंस आ सकते हैं उस टॉपिक में से, किस तरह के MCQ क्वेश्चंस आ सकते हैं, मल्टीपल चॉइस क्वेश्चंस आ सकते हैं। सपोज आपको एग्जाम देना है, ठीक है, कोई भी पब्लिक सर्विस कमीशन, ओके, और तो UPSC एनी एनी टाइप ऑफ एग्जाम, तो व्हाट टाइप ऑफ द क्वेश्चंस comes from the repertory part along with the लॉन्ग आंसर, क्या क्या छोटे क्वेश्चंस आ सकते हैं, ये भी मैं आपको इस सीरीज में बताती जाऊंगी। ठीक है। सो लेट्स स्टार्ट। एवरी वीडियो विल बी 5 to 10 minutes, लॉन्ग वीडियो नहीं होगा। ठीक है। सो लेट्स स्टार्ट विद द फर्स्ट। So I'm just closing my video, otherwise it's difficult for me to write. Okay. So first जो questions आपको आएगा when you are in the fourth BHMS, that is what you mean by the repertory। ये repertory होता क्या है ये चीज है। Okay. So we all know that homeopathic materia medica, ये क्या है, that is it contains the symptoms of each and every remedies। For example, आप एकोनाइट पढ़ रहे हो तो एकोनाइट के बहुत सारे, लाइक फ्रॉम हेड, फ्रॉम माइंड सेक्शन से लेकर हेड फॉर स्किन, ओके, माउथ, थ्रोट, रेस्पिरेटरी सिस्टम, ऑल बाय वन एक ड्रग के साथ लिखा गया हो। ठीक है। बट जब आप बहुत ड्रग्स पढ़ लोगे ना, सपोज मोर देन 50-55, लाइक बहुत सारे ड्रग्स पढ़ लोगे, तो बहुत डिफिकल्ट हो जाएगा ईच एंड एवरी सिम्टम्स को याद रखने के लिए। ठीक है। फॉर एग्जाम्पल, डिजायर फॉर स्वीट में पता है लाइकोपोडियम एंड सल्फर है। ठीक है, जब आप मेडिका पढ़ोगे, बट इसके अलावा भी बहुत सारे मेडिसिन हैं जो कि इंक्लूडेड है इस स्वीट डिजायर में। ठीक है। सो इस चीज को याद रखने के लिए, और हमें पता भी है कि हमारी ब्रेन, नो ह्यूमन ब्रेन कैन मेमोराइज ऑल द सिम्टम्स है। ओके। सो इन ऑर्डर टू ओवरकम दिस प्रॉब्लम्स, what they do, that they bring the repertory। So what is repertory? It is basically arrangement of the all the symptoms of the materia medica in a proper manner। Okay. So homeopathic repertory is what? It is an index, or you can say that it is a dictionary of the symptoms। Okay. It is a dictionary of symptoms where the symptoms are arranged systematically। Okay, that may be there are different types of the repertory, we will come to the later। Okay, so here the symptoms are arranged systematically along with the indicated medicines। For example, अगर आप देखोगे, सपोज एब्स्ट्रैक्शन ऑफ द माइंड, और देयर इज एन सपोज एक कुछ भी दिया गया, फॉर एग्जांपल द फर्स्ट इज योर एब्सेंट minded। अगर आप कैंट रेपर्टरी चैप्टर खोलोगे, माइंड सेक्शन, देयर इज एन एब्सेंट माइंडेड एंड देयर आर सो मेनी रेमेडीज, 1 2 3, सो मेनी रेमेडीज। ओके। सो कैंट है, बहुत सारे रेपर्टरी हैं, एक के बाद एक आई विल डिटेल। ठीक है। फर्स्ट इतना समझ लो कि रेपर्टरी होता क्या है। इट इज अरेंजमेंट ऑफ द सिम्टम्स, और एक सिम्टम्स के साथ कई आपको यहाँ पर रेमेडीज देखने को मिलेंगे डिपेंडिंग अपॉन देयर ग्रेड। ठीक है। हाई ग्रेड है, मिडिल ग्रेड है, लोअर ग्रेड है, डिपेंडिंग अपॉन द ग्रेड। ग्रेड मतलब अगर सपोज अगर आप कैंट रेपर्टरी के साथ जाओगे, सो मोस्ट सिम्टम्स कवर्ड बाय द पेशेंट, तो दैट इज मीनिंग द हाई ग्रेड। ठीक है। सो ओके, अभी क्या MCQ क्वेश्चंस आ सकते हैं। फॉर एग्जांपल, how the repertory word originated। okay, the word repertory, it is originate from the Latin word। okay, so this can be one of the question, कौन से word से originate है, that is from the Latin word, the word repertory, याद रखना, ठीक है? The word repertory originate from the Latin word. This can be one of the multiple choice question. Okay, from which word? That is from the Latin word. And what is that Latin word? That is repertorial. What is that? That is repertoire. Repertoir. Repertoire. Okay, or a Latin word. Okay, originate from the Latin word repertoire. Repertoire, or the late Latin word repertorium. Okay, now this repertorium is again derived from the Latin word. Okay, so this can be one of the questions. Latin word which is repertus. Okay, which is repertus. Okay, and the repertus, it is a past participle of repertory. Okay, इतना याद रखने की जरूरत नहीं है. I'm just telling you the most important question they can ask. See, Latin, the repertory derived from the which word? That is about the Latin word. And where re, what does the re means again, that is reproduced again, and peri means to produced. Okay, and the peri, P-A-R-I-R-E, it means to produce. Okay, so this is all about a short note of the repertory. Okay, so what is repertory? You have to define the from where the repertory word comes, and its small definition. It is basically a index or the catalog or the dictionary of the symptoms of the materia medica, where the symptoms are arranged systematically along with the indicated medicines. Okay, to facilitate the quick but correct selection of these medicines. Okay, not the similar medicine but the medicines. अभी किस तरह से आपको example भी आप दिखा दो. For example, absent minded, and you can take any symptoms, and then the some of the remedies present in this particular rubric. Okay, now basically this is a symptom. Okay, now if you see, for example, there is a patient come to you in your clinic, and you asked him that he is suffering from the migraine or a type of the headache which comes in the right side. Okay, so here the symptoms will be like head, and the pain, and the side is the right side. That this full form is known as a rubric. I will come to the later. Okay, so this is all about your repertory. Now they can tell you tell me something about history and development of the repertory. Okay, so suppose if the question asks what is the earliest repertory. Okay, the earlier repertory was born in the year of 1805. Remember, this is the early repertory which was introduced in the year of 1805. This is also in which language? Latin language. Another multiple choice question. Okay, and what is the name of this repertory? This is another important questions which has like ask you in many examination. आपको BHMS में पूछा जाएगा, even in any type of the entrance examination. ठीक है, that is fragmenta. You should know the full form. Okay, the fragmenta d variables. कभी कभी क्या करते हैं, ये नाम चेंज कर देते हैं. fragmenta b viribus, fragmenta b seribus, anything. So you should know fragmenta d viribus medica mentorium positivis. Okay, sev insano corpore humano positivis. Okay, insano corpore humano positivis. Okay, positivism. This is very important in Viva also. They can ask you what is the earliest repertory, okay, which is not published. Okay, so this repertory is not published, and which is the earliest repertory used by the Hahnemann. The Hahnemann make his own repertory. The name of this repertory is Fragmentati Veribus Medicamentorium Positives in Sano Corpore Human Positives. And this was in the year of 1805 and in the language of Latin. Okay. So this contains basically the two part. The first part contains the symptoms observed. Okay. Symptoms observed. So this is the first part. This is another MCQ. Okay. ये पूछ सकता है in the multiple choice question. And the second part contains index or the repertory. Okay. So this is the first repertory he used. Okay. Now it must be noted that Hahnemann himself prepared one index in the year of 1817 in his own handwriting and used to consult whenever it is necessary, and it consists of 4 volumes. Okay. So remember, these are the not published repertory. It is not a printed repertory. Okay. It is not a printed repertory. So when Hahnemann comes to know that the repertories are very much useful, then he wrote a letter to his friend. The name of this friend is Rummel. Okay, he wrote a letter to his friend. The friend's name is Rummel. That how useful will be the good alphabetically repertory once it is completed. Okay. So what the Dr. Hahnemann did, he asked his disciple, okay, to prepare another symptoms index, or so he asked Dr. Gross. Okay, he asked Dr. Gross to prepare one repertory. Okay, he asked Dr. Ernest Ferdinand Ruckert. Okay, Ernest Ferdinand Ruckert. Okay, and to work on the last volume of the chronic disease. Okay, he also asked Dr. Jhar, okay, to complete his second volume of the chronic disease into the repertory. But after seeing their work, Hahnemann is not satisfied. So all this repertory is not published, and but it was the manuscript are still preserved. So this can be asked in the questions. Manuscripts are preserved in which museum? Okay, so they can ask you this question. The manuscript is 1 minute. Yeah, so they can ask you where the manuscript is preserved. The manuscript are preserved in Hales Museum. Okay, so this is one of the MCQ. ये आ सकता है. Where it is in the Hales Museum in Robert Bosch Hospital, Stuttgart, West Germany. Okay. So this is an important question. They can ask you in the Viva or they can ask you in the multiple choice questions. Okay. Afterward, what happened? Now, let me just remove this one. Yeah. Yeah. Afterward, at last, being encouraged by the Dr. Hahnemann, Dr. Boenninghausen, okay, Dr. Boenninghausen, he developed first printed repertory. Remember this. The first printed repertory. All this repertory is not printed. Okay, the first printed repertory, and its name was repertory of the Antisoric. So it is the first printed repertory, okay, and it was published in the year of 1832. So this is very important MCQs. The first, if they ask you what is the first repertory, the answer will be the Hannibal's repertory, okay, the fragmentary various person. But if they ask you what is the first printed repertory, the answer will be Dr. Boenninghausen's repertory of the Antisoric in the year of 1832. Okay, and this repertory of the Antisoric contains the preface by Hanneman himself. Okay. Now, afterward, after this repertory of Antisoric was published, Boenninghausen did not stop here. He published another repertory. Okay, so what are the other two repertories? So the one is your repertory of medicines, which is not Antisoric. Repertory of medicine, which is not Antisoric. It was in the year of 1835. Another MCQ question. And the third is your the relative kinship of homeopathic medicines. The relative kinship of homeopathic medicines. Homeopathic medicines in the year of 1836. Okay. So afterwards, all these three publications, they later combined. Okay, so repertory of Antisoric, repertory of the medicines not Antisoric, and the relationship of the homeopathic medicines. Okay, now all these three publications later combined and to form a masterpiece of the book, which is known as a BTPB. So तीनों को combine किया, okay, and then he made a book, Boenninghausen Therapeutic Pocket Book. Okay, the Therapeutic Pocket Book, Boenninghausen Therapeutic Pocket Book, and it was published. Another important multiple choice question, published in the year of 1846 in German language. Okay, the first language is the German language. Afterward, the work has been edited into the other two language. One is your French language and other is the English language. Okay, so this is all about your repertory up to for today. Okay, in the next class we will do the next part of the repertory, the how the like type of the repertory, different types of the repertory, okay, and their examples. Okay.